This is Professor Giles again with this video for pivot tables and pivot charts. We're on pivot charts now, and this session we're talking about how to create a simple pivot chart and how to use it for calculating fields on the fly. I'll give you an example of that as we go forward. Okay, so we have a pivot table. What we want to do now is organize this to see if we can get more information from here. When I click on my pivot table, that's when my dialog box pops up. If I click off of it, it disappears. Another thing is the data is connected directly to your data sheet, so what happens in your data sheet also happens in your pivot table. If these values change in sales, then your values will change inside of your table as well. So this is one way to work with pivot tables. Another way to work with pivot tables is to create a pivot chart. What are pivot charts? I go back to my data and you can see my pivot table here. This is showing me my product from my filter. This is also showing me, by the way, if you see number signs or pound signs inside of your cells, it only means that it's just too small to hold your cell. All you have to do is double click and it'll expand to the column size that you need. What we're also going to do is create a pivot chart from this. You won't need to do anything with insert chart. What you'll do is you'll go to insert and you're looking at pivot here. We're going to move up to tools and look for pivot chart. Let's click pivot chart tools and you'll see some examples of some charts that we can use to represent our data. What would best be representative of this data? What we're going to do is use the bar chart. I'm going to click OK, and here's a bar chart of the data that we have. You'll notice that we have United States, Mexico, Germany, and one says sum of profit, sum of sales, and units sold. Let's say we remove the units sold. How do I do that? Well, I can come over here and I can just remove the field. This will just give us the sum of sales and the sum of profit. But let's say if I just want to have the sum of sales. That's all I want to have is the sum of my sales. Let's go over here and I'll get rid of sum of profit. Now, of course, we can manipulate this chart. I don't need the total row necessarily, so I'll just go ahead and cut that out. So we don't want to remove the field. What we will do is we will hide the report filter buttons on the chart, or hide all field buttons on the chart, and we'll say this is the total sales. Let's say total sales. I'm going to delete that because it's going to be cumbersome to show the values for these guys. However, what I will do is click data labels, and you'll notice even when I move on top, you can see how the data labels show up. So there's a pivot table and there's a pivot chart. This wraps up our session for pivot tables. In our next session, we're going to create a calculated field in the chart so that we can make decisions. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, click on like button on below, and leave a comment if you'd like to learn a little more about something. I look forward to hearing from you soon, and have a wonderful day.